my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we have a big update for the Book of Boba Fett, and we're also going to be talking about the brand new game Star Wars Eclipse. Just before we dive into it guys, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also hit that bell to be alerted every time I post a new video. But no more jibber jabber, let's get straight into it. We begin with a very exciting update for the Book of Boba Fett. Total Film magazine released a special interview with Temuera Morrison yesterday, and after the interview section, they confirmed that Pedro Pascal is the voice we hear in the Book of Boba Fett trailer, and that Din Djarin is going to appear. There has been a lot of debate over the last month as to whether or not we hear Pedro or not, but Total Film, through an official Lucasfilm source, confirm that Pedro is in the series, and they go on to state that the Mandalorian himself is going to make an appearance. It's not explicitly stated if this is going to be a recurring role or just for one episode, but interestingly enough, they do make a point of how the Book of Boba Fett is going to act as a bridge to the Mandalorian Season 3. In other words, my dear friends, Din Djarin appearing is going to help us understand where he next appears in the Mandalorian Season 3 next year. Essentially, and this is nothing new, we already suspected it, the Book of Boba Fett is the connective tissue between Seasons 2 and 3. And if Din is making an appearance, then I would suspect Bo-Katan is also going to feature, and who knows, Grogu might reunite with Din sooner than later. And given that Luke Skywalker is rumoured to be a cameo, they might explain why Grogu ends up not training with him. So many possibilities to explore, but the lowdown is Pedro Pascal is going to appear. And when you hear the voice in the trailer state, I know that you sit on the throne of your former employer, this is Pedro as Din Djarin, and not the Ithorian crime lord, so it's a bit of a red herring timing wise with the overlap that we see in the trailer. So the Mandalorian is going to make an appearance in the Book of Boba Fett, and we are now in the final stretch until the series drops, 19 days exactly, and I can't wait. So now my dear friends, let's move on and talk about the brand new Star Wars game, Star Wars Eclipse, which just got an insane cinematic trailer. This is the game by Quantic Dream, set during the High Republic era. Now, even though I've not been a fan of the High Republic so far, although I will admit I've only read one of the books, Light of the Jedi, and it wasn't my cup of tea, this trailer has me super hyped. And I think overall, if anything's going to do it, this game might end up changing my mind about the entire era. Now let's talk about the trailer itself. There were a couple of surprises that I didn't expect. First of all, how authentically Star Wars it feels. And secondly, the Trade Federation being active this long before the Phantom Menace. We see Yoda at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, staring out the window of the High Council chamber, and bear in mind that both he, Yaddle, Yarael Poof, and Operan Sissis were around this long before the prequels. So I do hope this game gives us younger iterations of those characters as well. I got major Rogue One vibes at times, and maybe it's because this Mon Calamari looks very much like Admiral Raddus, and clearly he was designed after him. I feel like the world building in this game is going to be very expansive, and conflict seems to be at the very heart of it. But bear in mind, my dear Mandalorians, that this is a Quantic Dream game, so the focus is going to be on decision making rather than gameplay. Most Quantic Dream games have a very similar gameplay style in that the action scenes are quick time inserts. The narrative is the focus first and foremost, and I think that could function beautifully in a Star Wars game like this one. The person or creature emerging at the end is presumably the big bad of the game. I'm not really sure as we don't have too much to go off, but I'm loving it from this first look, and I think this game is going to be a real winner. Some of the main talking points of the trailer is the mysterious drumming at the start. The trailer kicks off with a grey humanoid alien preparing to play an ancient looking drum in what seems to be some kind of ritual. He's soon joined by others, and the rhythm builds and builds to a fevered pitch as we witness an eclipse. It creates a very ominous tone, and only at the end do we come to understand what it might all mean. Throughout the trailer, we also get a few tantalizing glimpses at the Jedi of this era. We already spoke about Yoda, but there are a couple of other guardians of peace and justice. So let's take a look at the official description and synopsis of this game. An official cinematic trailer for Star Wars Eclipse was revealed during this year's iteration of the Game Awards. The High Republic era spans 200 years before the events of the Prequel Trilogy, and as such, the trailer offers a look at a Star Wars universe quite different to the ones we know from the films and television shows. The The Star Wars Eclipse official website further describes the title as a new action-adventure, multiple-character branching narrative game set during the High Republic. This sounds true to form for Quantic Dream, a developer known for story-driven games with branching narratives, which basically means you play the game and there could be multiple outcomes based on the decisions that you make, and you've got to see them through until the very end. The site elaborates, see the galaxy through the eyes of an ensemble cast of multiple charismatic playable characters, each with their own morality, personality, motivations, and impact upon each other and the story at large. With all new characters and environments, you have the power to make choices with consequences thanks to the many outcomes in this deeply branching narrative. In an uncharted section of the galaxy with never before seen species and planets to discover, this part of the Outer Rim is rife with opportunity and political tensions that could alter the fabric of peace. What will you do? And the big question that I have is this going to connect to the Acolyte? We know that is set 50 years before the Phantom Menace, right at the end of the High Republic era. So is this game going to span the whole High Republic era and therefore link into the Acolyte, or is it just going to be a fragment, as in one tiny section of that era? I suspect it is going to connect, with the game in early development and with the Acolyte only going into production next year, especially with the tease of the big bad emerging at the end of the trailer. Very exciting stuff, and as I say, it could change my perception of the High Republic. So finally, my dear friends, Star Wars is bringing back a major Legends villain, and I'm talking about Prince Xizor, ruler of the criminal empire Black Sun, and one of the most important villains in the old expanded universe. Star Wars has brought him back in the new comic Star Wars Crimson Reign, the follow-up to War of the Bounty Hunters. The story is set close to the same time period as Shadow of the Empire, with Kira attempting to provoke the Empire into conflict with the various crime syndicates by turning them all on one another. She targets Black Sun in particular, conveying messages for the attention of Prince Xizor. Disney erased the expanded universe from canon when they purchased Lucasfilm back in 2012. Since then though, nearly 10 years on, they've made it clear that they intend to adapt the best elements for the new canon, with the most prominent to date being Grand Admiral Thrawn, who they reintroduced in Star Wars Rebels and who is coming back in the Mandalorian universe for Star Wars Ahsoka. Now, having said this, the return of Prince Xizor has been set up for quite a long time. Black Sun appeared in the Clone Wars and Rebels, and it was heavily implied they were run by the Feline, even in the new Disney canon. And given this species also appears in the Book of Boba Fett trailer, we can only keep our fingers crossed that Prince Xizor could appear in the Book of Boba Fett. So very exciting stuff, and I hope that you guys are excited too. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below of the Boba Fett news. Also tell me your thoughts about the new Star Wars game Eclipse, and what you make of everything we spoke about in today's video. If you enjoyed it, my dear friends, as always, give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and why not consider becoming a patron? The link is down there in the description, and you get exclusive videos not found here on YouTube. But otherwise, my dear Megalorians, I'll see you all in the next video. I'm Star Wars Meg, may the Force be with you, have a good one.